They've got more to say about Stetson Bennett in the NFL. Hey, make sure if you're interested again in Stetson Bennett copy that's signed by Stetson, go ahead and hit Double Dogs. That link is down below. Wow, some impressive comments here from those in the NFL. I like this one the most. That one NFL executive had to say he's done some dumb stuff. We're going to call it, but you kind of like him. That's one NFL executive saying he's like, you know what, I don't give an, you know what, F it, here we go. Go ahead and don't draft me or take me late and piss me off some more. These are all quotes that the NFL.com grabbed earlier this week about some players, mainly quarterbacks. You know, quarterbacks get us going so much. Here's another quote from an unnamed NFC executive saying he doesn't even look at it like he's got a chip on his shoulder. And then this person's quote, saying in Stetson's way, "I just think I'm better than you." And then the exec goes on to say he's talked himself into that, and you can poke holes into him all you want. He's bigger than Bryce Young. He's won more games than Bryce. He's older, but he's a sharp guy. I'm telling you, I've been talking about this. The number one thing that people are drawn away from is the age. That's what bothers him the most. He's older, but he's a sharp guy. Can make some plays with his feet, and at the same time can make some plays with his arm. Does he have a big arm? No, but he's good enough. He's tough as hell. And then a couple of more quotes here from the folks in the NFL. These are not attributed to any person, by the way. One AFC scout said, "Wildly talented gamer, that just can't reel it in. He lives the life. He's a starting quarterback. You can't knock the ability and the talent he has, but at that position, when you have to be such a CEO, a figurehead, do all the right things, he's just a true wild card." A couple more here from an AFC coordinator, which could be Todd Monken, but I kind of doubt it. It says he's a talented thrower, man. He's competitive. He's got the ability to make all the throws. He's a playmaker. He's accurate. He has high football IQ. He's just undersized. You see bad body language, which someone actually, some folks I've talked to in and around Georgia have talked about that in the past too. That was after the 21 Alabama or during the 21 Alabama game. You see bad body language. He has super high opinion of himself. He's talented, but is he going to be one of those dudes that sits behind just thinking he's better than everyone else? That's two different people saying that. And then a quarterback coach in the AFC, according to the NFL.com, saying, obviously, I've got a ton of respect for what he's done. He's a different dude. He carries himself a lot, like he's got two national championships, and he does. He's going to walk into the building and it's like, congratulations, that's really awesome what you did in college, but none of that matters anymore. So, so there's two folks specifically right now who are sort of in the crosshairs of NFL world as the draft comes right on top of us here. One of them is Stetson Bennett. The other one is Jalen Carter. And for Jalen, he will hear his name called Thursday. Exactly when, I don't know. But for Stetson, he's going to be one of the divisive guys in this draft. People are going to love to hate him, and some people are just going to straight up love him. He does have real issues going against him right now. The age is probably the biggest thing to me, because you only have so long to play in the league. Yada yada. He's 25. That's a whole thing for them. That's a big thing for them. And then secondly, he's got his size, which I think people are less concerned about as they once were. But then this better than you attitude thing, that's being picked up on, and either that's something that they're being told or they're feeling in these interviews when they talk with Stetson Bennett. But the thing about being in the league when you're talking about the draft, and somebody as not good at football as Tim Tebow can tell you this, you just need one team, one executive to call your name. That's it. You don't need to impress the whole league. And, you know, having been around football enough, when guys are high school prospects, there's nothing they can do wrong. It's like it's against religion to say something negative about a prospect. That publicly. And then when they get in college, they're sort of still celebrated. But boy, let me tell you, when they get towards the draft, like before the draft, people are really ready to poop on them at any moment's notice. And what it is, to me, it's a defense mechanism for the people in the league. And I understand it. They are hedging big time. There is no player that's going to get drafted right now in this. I mean, even Trevor Lawrence, who is considered a can't miss prospect, and who has not played like a can't miss prospect, by the way, going in the NFL. He's I think he's won one playoff game. He ain't Joe Burrow. Very few people had something to say against Joe Burrow. I'm sure we can rewind it and find that out. The job of the NFL is to hedge as much as possible, to know every single negative. Can you live with this negativity? Um, what was it like for them growing up? What was it like for them in college? How do they act when they're under pressure and stress? What's their how responsible are they? Are they good teammates? Do they go to class? How are they in the huddle? How are they after losses? How are they in the building? Do they work? Do they get to work? Do they complain about work? How are they with money? Is money going to change them? Money is not going to change Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett has come from a very good situation in terms of money. He has earned a lot of money. Let I say, literally earned a lot of money playing and winning at Georgia. So I don't think that the NFL money will change Stetson Bennett's life. I think he's got a real opportunity, but it's got to be with the right team, and it's got to be in a moment where I mean, Miami would be probably as good a position as he could be in because they have a starter who is just not durable in any way. I think that it's possible the Browns would be a good situation because Watson is just does dumb stuff, frankly, and there's no telling when he'll do something else dumb or be injured. Durability is a question with Deshaun Watson as well. So there are places, but like going to the Bengals, that's not good. Or going to, I mean, at this stage, the Eagles, there are places where guys are firmly entrenched. They're not going anywhere. Stetson Bennett's never going to replace them. It's just not going to happen. And so where he gets drafted, and I do think he will get drafted. Um, that's going to be really an important moment for him. And I think I'm not here to defend Stetson Bennett. Stetson, has his own microphone. If Stetson wants to come on the show, he can do that. If he wants to tweet things out, he can do that. He can get on ESPN. He can get on the NFL Network. He can talk whenever he wants to. But I think for the criticism of can this guy, you know, can this guy like wait his turn or be a good backup? I'm like, bro, really? Like that's the question we're at. That can't be a real question that we're asking, is it? Like that's a real question? I mean, if really, like with his history, I mean, that's like asking if he can win the national championship. I mean, obviously he can be a very good backup. He went from being a backup to being the starter to being the backup to being the starter. That's like an NFL career. I mean, that's just what this is now. I mean, Andy Dalton, or so That's not really the question for him. But I am, you know, I am fascinated by this Rorschach test, or however it's pronounced correctly, about Stetson. A lot of people dislike him. A lot of people dislike Steph Curry. These are not the same thing. But I like Steph Curry. I think he's entertaining. I think there's a lot of people don't like LeBron James, but a lot of that's political. They just dislike that he's active. But with Steph Curry, people get annoyed with his, antics, and he's very divisive. Everybody knows who Steph Curry is. Everybody knows who Stetson Bennett is. People don't know who Broderick Jones is, like nationally. I love you, Broderick, but no one knows who you are. No one knows who I am. Everybody knows who Stetson Bennett is. Period. They just do. He is going to be as important if he wants to be an important voice in college football in the future. He has as heavy a microphone as anybody who's played. I mean, he's got more national championships than Greg McElroy. He's got more championships than anybody that's not named AJ McCarron in the last, however many decades. And he doesn't have coaching. Like Scott Frost. Scott Frost has proved to not work. He's become a failure in big time college football. So Stetson doesn't have that burden. He can be David Pollock in the future if he wants to. Um, Now, I don't know if he's good at media, but that might not be what he. I mean, that might not be the position that he's in. But the name Stetson Bennett is always going to carry because of what he's done, what he's earned, the way he's been. In the NFL, I've seen it too often. It's not a matter of I'm not going to doubt this guy. I don't know what the hell that even means. Okay, the guy, he can do it. Now, can he be a franchise quarterback? No, probably not. Probably not a franchise quarterback. Can he get you to the playoffs? He might be able to do that. I mean, his speed is legit. Now, what will change dramatically is the windows, the you are not going to play with the best team. Your team's not always going to be the best team, and the windows in which to make things happen shrink dramatically. Um, so that's problematic. But if you're going to play him in a forward-looking offense, I think he could be successful, certainly as a backup for an extended period of time at Georgia. Hey, or excuse me, in the NFL. Make sure you're picking up the book down below. Thanks for watching.